Yesterday, the devs at Diablo 4 announced some insane changes for Season 6. I was originally a little on the apprehensive side out of all of the data mine changes, but after the campfire chat, that's all gone. I'm going to cover the changes to leveling, Paragon, and the glyphs, and then some of the balance updates. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Let's dive in. Massive campfire updates today. Season 6, which is not only going to be in the expansion pack. So if you haven't purchased the expansion pack yet, or you don't have the means to, or you're not going to be able to get it when it launches, that does not matter. You're still going to be able to play Season 6. And all of these updates here that we're going to go over will be on the regular game itself, not even the Vessel of Hatred. So Season 6 will be live. All of the changes are going to be happening, and it is massive. It's going to feel like a completely new game. So to start, we have some differences to the journey of leveling. How it's going to work. Characters are going to go from level 1 to 50. That's going to represent the character levels in gaining skills. Right? So it used to be level 1 to 100 was split out the character levels and Paragon levels. Now they're doing level 1 to level 50, and then there's a new max at level 60. So basically what they're treating it as, when you stop getting skill points, that is when you're going to be at max level. So as you go through this here, and when you get to your max level of level 60 here, that's when you're going to start gaining your Paragon points. Now, Paragon points are actually going to be increasing. We'll talk about Paragon points in a little bit. What they're trying to do is they're trying to change the pace of leveling and how leveling works. So normal effects are slower. The leveling pace for new players, Hard, Expert, and Penitent offers significant increases to challenges for slightly increased rewards and potential pace. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it a lot more efficient. That Normal, Expert, and Penitent, that is actually the levels that you're going to be able to choose when you play. So there's going to be no more World Tier 1, World Tier 2, World Tier 3, or World Tier 4. You can choose whichever one that you want. You're going to be able to get all of the same stuff in all of the difficulties, normal, hard, expert, or penitent. The only thing that you're going to get out of going to a higher one is a more efficient and faster paced leveling experience. If that's not what you want, if you want to enjoy the game, you want to cruise through, you'll still be able to get all of the stuff in your normal, your hard, your expert, and all the way up through penitent. So you can choose which one fits your build the best and which one fits your class the best. There's no more skipping straight to World Tier 2 from 1. There's no more taking a brief pause to breathe in World Tier 3 before you get to 4. You pick which one you want, and if that one's too easy, you skip right to the next one, and then you see if that one is doable. Numbers adjustments. This is going to be massive. They are crunching the numbers down, not by a little bit, but by a lot. I saw a couple screenshots of people's life. It goes at level 35, I think it was. It had like 95, 100 life. The numbers are going to get squished down a lot. Now, don't worry, because they're doing it to monster health, monster damage, your life, your damage. It is actually going to be a really, really great change. The reason that they're doing this is because if you're looking at billions and billions and billions of damage, 1.1 billion versus 1.15 billion, how do you know that your item was better? If you're doing so much damage so often, how can you tell that your items are getting better if the numbers are so big? They're crunching everything down. They're going to make it a lot more easily readable right here, which is what they said, right? They're trying to make it more readable so that you know when your gear is better. So this is going to be a very big update. This is actually really, really good. Itemization changes. This is actually changing a ton. A ton. So Ancestral mechanics, starting in Torment 1. So what you can unlock Torment 1 when you've reached max level. You can unlock Torment 1. There's Torment 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are treated exactly the same as your leveling difficulties. You can get all of the same gear in Torment 1 that you can in Torment 4. But in Torment 1, you get a little bit less efficient farming than you do in Torment 4. So you find out where your build fits in, and then that's where you play it. You can unlock those torments the higher you clear into the pit. It's going to be pretty crazy because Ancestral gear is going to start dropping once you unlock your Torment 1. And Ancestral gear is actually going to be meaningful, useful, and rare. You're not going to see all of the Ancestral gear like you did now. So they become more common as you transcend the Tormented Tiers. Ancestral items are intended to be where you begin finding your forever items. They put a lot into this and into your Ancestral gear because they want to have those be your endgame gear. You're actually going to have endgame gear now. When you find an Ancestral gear, it's going to guarantee a greater affix, 1 minimum. It can have up to 4, 3, 4, however many there are, but it will always have 1 at least. Your item power, maximum item power in the game is going to be 750. But when you find Ancestral gear, it actually is going to jump to 800. So Ancestral gear is going to be rare. There are going to be 2 tempering slots in Ancestral gear, and there's only going to be 1 tempering slot in regular gear. Masterworkable up to rank 12. All of the rest of the gear can only go to 4. And then when you put on your aspects onto Ancestral gear, they actually get a boost. So you're not going to just see your regular aspect, you're actually going to see a boost to your aspects when you put them on Ancestral gear. Paragon and Glyph updates. They are going to be taking your glyphs from level 21, level 100. All glyphs are going to start as a rare glyph. We're actually going to be changing rarity of the glyphs now. At level 1, they're going to be rare. They're going to upgrade all the way up to legendary at rank 46. You now get 2 radius increases. The radius increases at 15 and 46 for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but it's going to be a big jump. So now we're going to have a massive boost. And so what that looks like is this here. Look at how big the radius is now. I'm sure that they're going to rework. So, right, this is not final, right? So they're probably going to rework how the Paragon sits, because having a glyph here, look at all of this wasted space, right? They're probably going to move around the boards. The boards are going to look a little bit different than what we are seeing right now, but they're changing it dramatically. I don't have the screenshot for it yet. I haven't got to go through everything, but you're only going to be able to use 5 boards. They were capping the amount of boards that you can use. So this way, when we get our Paragon points, it actually is going to be a little bit different. And a big surprise is that we are not going to be able to use nightmare dungeons to level up your glyphs. It is now moving to the pits. So you get to the end of the pit, and you can rank it up there. So now ranking up your glyphs is actually attempt-based. So this means that it's going to be something similar to, which I didn't actually get to do, so maybe somebody has done this before, but in Diablo 3, there was ranking up legendary gems. And apparently, it was actually a really fast way to level things up with attempt bases. Guarantee success if your pit is 10 tiers different or more than your glyph level. Bonus if it's 20 pit levels or more. So you'll be able to boost up your glyphs actually very quickly through the bonus ranks through the pit tiers. So if you're running a pit, even if you're running pit, you have level 1 glyph, you run a pit 20, you get bonus to that level. So it's going to be actually pretty cool. When the glyph becomes legendary, this is actually going to be amazing. Every single glyph is going to get a multiplicative number. So you might be asking, okay, well, that's great. We just moved everything into the pits. Nightmare dungeons are completely useless. Wrong. They actually now drop a ton of masterworking materials. Masterworking materials actually can drop from pretty much anywhere in the game now, and they drop from elite packs the most. So when you do a nightmare dungeon, you're going to run through that nightmare dungeon and actually want to kill monsters and actually clear a dungeon. So we're going to go through, if you take the wrong turn and you like miss the going towards the end, right, where the boss is, you're going to run into an elite pack. You're going to get masterworking materials from that. So then you go to you finally make it to the end, you kill the boss. The boss drops even more masterworking materials. So everything is actually going to have some sort of meaning, some sort of progress. Like, this is really going to be pretty cool. And we're going to get legendary glyphs. Realm-based Paragon points. This right here. Your Paragon points are shared across the entire realm. Seasonal softcore, eternal hardcore, etc. Your Paragon points are latent on a pre-level 60 character. Once you reach the max level of your character, that character unlocks all of the Paragon points that you have accrued. So that means that if you have earned 150 Paragon points and you want to start another character, when you get that character to level 60, you immediately unlock 150 Paragon points. If you've unlocked all 300 Paragon points, you immediately unlock 300 Paragon points as soon as you hit level 60. It's immediate. And this is across all of it. Hardcore, softcore, you can farm all of that Paragon points and you save them all. So it is actually really, really cool. So max Paragon points can be earned through experience, and it's increased from 200 to 300. So that's not including the points from Renown. So you're going to get a little bit more than that. What is going to be cool about this is that you don't have to do the grind to get all of those Paragon points if that's not what you want to do. If you don't have a lot of time, you don't have to grind all of this out in order for your character to be pretty much equal to somebody that has enough time to grind them all out, because they're capping the boards. You get a certain amount of boards. They're expanding the radius of the glyphs, so they're putting meaning into your glyphs now, and then into all of your other stats. So this way, you can use all of those extra points to fill up that board and get more stats. But the difference between having maybe 250 points and 300 points is not going to be super significant if you don't have the time to grind. So it's actually going to be a pretty big change, which actually I'm a pretty big fan of. So as we talked about, this is it. This is your level 46 glyph. We get that increased radius here. And then right here, 46 glyph, you get your radius unlocked here. And then every glyph now becomes a multiplicative when you convert it to a legendary glyph. You get a multiplicative damage number instead of just additive. Every single one of them. So you see right here, increase the critical strike damage bonus by 20% when you upgrade to this here. And then your critical strike damage bonus enemies take from you is 3% for up to 15%. So everything becomes multiplicative when you finally make it there. Okay, so some balance updates. Tempering updates. Weapon tempering affixes are multiplicative. Anything that goes on the weapon now is going to be multiplicative, and then you're going to have some new affixes. Chance to deal double damage, and then chance to hit twice. So there are currently a lot of things like chance to cast projectiles twice. Now, you're just going to have a chance to hit twice. Offensive tempers are now additive damage. So they took all of the weapon slot that are categorized as weapon, and that's going to be multiplicative. Anything that's categorized as offensive is now going to be additive. The size and the duration have been moved to the utility category. This is a huge win. And the reason that this is a big win, and I've been saying this for a while, they needed to do something to utility, because it was literally just like, I guess I'll just go with this right now. So there were so many times where we didn't need it. Now you don't have to fight your weapons in order to get your size increases and your durations. This is all going to go on just regular utility, which is going to go on your armor. That's going to be a really big one. Ultimate skill ranks. All the ultimate skills can now gain skill ranks. What is kind of unique about this is that it increases the damage and it reduces the cooldown of all of them. So all of the ultimates, whenever you put points into it, you get damage increase and reduction to cooldown. That is very, very cool. Effects that grant skill ranks, so like if you put on the Harlequin's Crest, it doesn't unlock all of the ultimate, so you can't use more than one still. But this is actually going to be a huge, huge increase now. So you're going to be able to lower the cooldown of your ultimates and increase the damage it does. If you found this video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends. I'm live on YouTube and Twitch pretty much every night. Stop by, let me know what you think of all of the changes coming to Diablo 4. Catch you on the clip side.